Hey everybody, going to do something a little bit different today. Sam Killer, wrestling connoisseur, the future world champ. Just got home from school, and somebody had asked me to do some fantasy booking. So my idea here was to start at the Rumble, book from Rumble to Rumble. So yeah, just a few things to note on here though. You'll notice I'm not including the women's division in this because I think the women's division needs its own network show, 1 or 2 hours long, with all their titles. And I think that deserves its own fantasy booking aspect. So with that said, I also only use the wrestlers available. I don't bring anybody in that's not within the company. I also, if anybody's injured, I kind of take them out of it. And I go Rumble to Rumble because I kind of see the Rumble as the start of the season. You know, you're booking toward WrestleMania, and that influences the rest of the year. So, rebooking this past Rumble, I'm not going to get too much into it, except, especially in the layout of the show itself. But some of the biggest things, I wouldn't have a Raw tag title match. I just have Rollins versus Cesaro. And that would kind of play in throughout the rest of what I'm doing here. Instead of Rude versus Mojo for the title, I'd have Rude versus Mahal, kind of a return match. And I would actually have Jinder Mahal pick up the win. Instead of a handicap match for the WWE title, I'd have it a triple threat. Not really sure why they went handicap. It didn't make sense to me. So I just skip ahead for that triple threat match. And within that, you would sow trouble between Owens and Sami Zayn. Universal title match, I'd still keep it Brock Kane versus Braun, except I would have Braun really screwed out of the belt. And I'd have Heyman and Lesnar kind of show a little bit of concern. I'd have Paul Heyman scared a little crapless, and Brock actually showing some worry. And Braun just furious. So the Rumble itself, I'd have some changes. I would have Braun Strowman in the Rumble, have him in probably like number 6 or 7, just clearing people out. And I would use the Rumble to kind of get Braun over a little bit. They've done such a good job of building him up to that point. I would also pay some acknowledgement to the Wyatt family. To have Braun Bray stare off. I'd have the Bludgeon Brothers, who weren't in the Rumble. I'd put them in the Rumble. Have a little face-off with Braun. I would also build up a little stuff with the Breezango and the Ascension with the Bludgeon Brothers. I'd have them probably take out Tyler Breeze from the Rumble early on before it started. So you have Fandango and Ascension coming in with a little bit of revenge in mind. A few other things here. I would start sowing some seeds for Mojo, Rawley, and Connor team up. To have them eliminate Harper. So it would just be something subtle. Them teaming up together after Victor was eliminated. I'd have a Reigns versus Braun standoff. Tease that. I'd have Orton come in, just hit RKOs on everybody. I'd have Braun block it, eliminate Orton. And I would get down to Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Braun Strowman. I'd have John Cena eliminated by by Braun. Then I'd have Brock actually come out and try to get Braun Strowman eliminated from the Rumble. Last thing him and Heyman want is an angry Braun Strowman going to WrestleMania. I wouldn't have Braun eliminated, though. Have him go out the middle rope, bottom rope, something. Braun's still in it, but he chases Brock to the back. Just show him leaving through the garage, just chasing him. And that would pretty much leave Roman versus Finn Balor. and I would have a double elimination where both of them go out at the same time. This has been done before, I think twice at a Rumble. I know once with Big Show and The Rock, and so that would lead right into the next Raw pay-per-view, which would be Elimination Chamber for number one contendership for the spot to go to WrestleMania. And I would actually make it a four-way. Braun not being eliminated, he wants in. John Cena, because he's John Cena, he wants in. So I'd have a fatal four-way for that with Braun Strowman picking up the win to go to WrestleMania to face Brock Lesnar. The actual Elimination Chamber matches would be for the Intercontinental title. And that would be Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, Elias, and, of course, The Miz, and the Miztourage, Axel, and Bo Dallas. And so, on one hand, Miz would probably feel like he's got some help in there. On the other, we're going to see the Miztourage want the title for themselves. So, could see a little bit of a dissension in that ranks. But the Miz ends up winning, pulling it out, keeps the belt. I'd also have an elimination tag title match with Rollins' partner, Jason Jordan, being injured. So there's going to be a new tag champs at Elimination Chamber, one way or another. The build-up here would be Rollins having to find a tag partner. Roman Reigns isn't in because he wants that spot at WrestleMania. So he's going to turn Rollins down. So we're going to see them a little bit. Rollins not going to be very happy with Roman Reigns not having his back. Of course, Ambrose is going to be gone. I'd still have him, taken out by Samoa Joe. Of course, Samoa Joe's going to be out too for injury. I would have a lot to build up just Rollins having a new tag partner every week to see who maybe would work. Guys like Truth, Goldust, whoever, and just continually losing. I'd have Goldust keep trying, really push this Shield Dust sort of thing, and in the end, he wouldn't end up choosing Goldust, but he'll end up picking Kane to be his tag partner. Kind of a reluctant alliance there. And, of course, Sheamus and Cesaro's going to be in this match. The Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, The Revival, Titus Worldwide, and Rhino and Slater. And this will probably be Sheamus's last match as he needs to take time off. And, who knows what some rest would do for him. It's a little bit of rehab. Maybe he'd be back in time for WrestleMania. Who knows? But I ended up having the Revival pick up the win. Yeah, that would be pretty much Elimination Chamber right there in a nutshell. SmackDown pay-per-view would be Fastlane, which we just watched. So I'm at least going to try to do this small amount up to Fastlane if I can get through it. I'm going to kind of go backwards here from what I've been doing. I've been going from main event now. I would have American Alpha versus the New Day, and I'd have American Alpha win with New Day showing a little bit of anger toward one another. And, kind of just teasing a little something there. On the pre-show, I would end up having probably the pre-show. Okay, yeah, I would have the pre-show, the six-man tag. And it would be Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Baron Corbin versus Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, and Zack Ryder. I would have it where the faces just do not get along in this matchup at all. I'd end up having Orton turn on Roode, hitting with the RKO, maybe Ryder too, and leaves him high and dry. He leaves Orton in the middle of the ring. Leaves Bobby Roode in the middle of the ring, and the heels end up pinning him. 1, 2, 3. I'd have Ryder in a backstage segment after that, visibly distraught, pissed off, and I'd have Dolph Ziggler walk by and tell him, "Hey man, it's okay. I've been in your shoes. I've got your back." And so I'll kind of, tease a not Dolph Ziggler turn, but a Zack Ryder turn, has been teased so much, and they've never followed through. So I would do a little bit of something here with these two. Of course, had Jinder Mahal win the title at the Rumble. I'd have Mahal versus Ty Dillinger, and of course Mahal's going to keep the belt. The build up to this is he's always been denying Bobby Roode another title shot after Roode failed to win it in the return match on SmackDown. So, this would be a match that Bobby Roode would be really interested in. And Mahal would obviously keep taunting him. I'd have Bludgeon Brothers versus Breezango versus the Ascension. And I would play up to this with Ascension and Breezango kind of, on the outs. Ascension's wanted to be friends. Breezango's kind of made fun of him this whole time. So there may be a little bit of trouble in paradise there between these friends. SmackDown tag title match: Usos versus Rusev Day. I think it would just be a fun match. You could do it as Rusev Day as faces. You could do them as heels, but I think they need to be consistent one way or the other. And I'd have the Usos keep it. So the biggest difference here with what we just saw versus what I would end up doing, I'd have a world title match with special guest referee Shinsuke Nakamura. So I didn't have Nakamura win the Rumble, but I'd have Nakamura really inching up, especially since SmackDown ended up having a ranking system. You have Nakamura winning every week, climbing those rankings, and I would have at this point Nakamura up at the top. He knows he's pretty much going to get that number one contendership for WrestleMania. I wouldn't have him end up challenging for this match. Maybe he wasn't in the number one contendership for this pay-per-view, or maybe he just ended up losing it. Maybe it was a little bit tainted. I would actually have Dolph Ziggler versus AJ Styles for the title, but this would set up what I would end up doing for WrestleMania, and I would have AJ kind of show a little bit of bitterness in this match. I'd end up having Ziggler win. I'd get rid of his crap gimmick that he's got going on, because it's really not doing anything. I wouldn't have had him in the Royal Rumble. I'd have him show back up on, and be in this contendership match and win it, so he could face AJ Styles. I'm trying to see what else I had here. I wouldn't really have him as a face return, but I wouldn't do it full blown heel either. I'd kind of leave it up in the air a little bit. I'd probably have actually Shinsuke pin AJ in a tag match or something leading up to Fastlane. So to have Nakamura as the special guest referee, you actually know he's there in the title scene a little bit. And I'd have in this match I would have a ref bump. Of course, Nakamura gets taken out. I'd have Zack Ryder interfere in the match. Enough distraction that Ziggler nails the finish, and Nakamura counts 1, 2, 3. Of course, this is a little bit teased to earlier on, where Ziggler tells Ryder, like, hey, I've got your back, and this is kind of one of those things like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So where I'm at versus the current standpoint would be completely different. I think you got to do that with Dolph Ziggler. I mean, last night's Fastlane wasn't a bad pay-per-view. It was just dialed in, and so this really changes the whole setup. Good. Yeah, I thought it was okay. So I'm gonna leave off there. Pick back up for what we're gonna do for WrestleMania. Probably in a little while.